Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach all, to the Akims and the Iwas and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity, and to the brothers and sisters in the truth. And this is Psalms chapter 10 verse 4. It says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his faults." Now when we look at this kingdom, we can see clearly that the way this kingdom is run is totally contrary to what the Lord wants us to do. We can see that the rulers of this kingdom is not seeking after God. And this is what they want our people to do, to not seek after God. When we read in Genesis, when Adam got kicked out of the garden, what did the Most High do? He put an angel to guard the way to the tree of life. And this is what the rulers of this kingdom is doing. Everything they put in our paths is to guide, is to hide us from the path to get back to the tree of life. So it says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his faults. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." So it says his ways are always grievous, and thy judgments are far above out of his sight. Because what does the Lord say? It says man should be with woman. But yet still, this kingdom, the judgment that it gives you, it says that man can be with man, woman can be with woman. If you take fancy to your animal, you can marry your animal. These are the things that's promoted in this kingdom. And these are things that are contrary to the laws of the Most High. It says, as for his enemies, he puffeth at them. Yeah, because Esau, we know, has gained great status in this world. He's set himself up a great kingdom, and in doing so, he now puffs at his enemies. He's in a position of power where he's been exalting himself against his enemies. But we know, according to the scriptures, the weak shall say, "I'm strong." And this is what we're seeing now. The strength that Esau had in his younger days, for want of a better word, he's not got that kind of a strength anymore. But he's still trying to hold on to that power, trying to hold on to his kingdom, even though the Most High is taking it down bit by bit. He has said in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity." And that goes back to the strength that he had when he first established this kingdom. He had total domination, total power, to the point where he thinks that he'll never be in adversity. But the Most High is going to raise up the spirit of these lesser nations, these weaker nations. That's why the scripture speaks about the weak, saying that I am strong. It says, "His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. On this tongue is mischief and vanity." And I'm going to read an article, because at the end of the day, we know the scripture speaks about the mark of the beast, not being able to buy or sell. And one of the ways that Esau is trying to put that into play is he wants to get people vaccinated and get them chipped. And also they're trying to push this digital dollar. And you're going to see, like it says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit. Now, one of the deceits, I should say, that Esau tries to push at our people is through his money. It's like we should be seeking to be rich towards the Most High, not seek to be rich in this kingdom. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being rich, but when you seek after riches in this kingdom and not seek to be rich towards the Most High, 9 out of 10 times, what you're doing is contrary to the Most High. The Most High ain't in your thoughts at all. Like we read in verse 4, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts." And when you're seeking after the riches of this world without seeking riches from the Most High is not in your thoughts at all. So you end up, for a good example is what's his name, the boxer, it's slipped my mind now. It slipped my mind, but you lot all know what I'm talking about. The boxer is quite rich. He's gained riches through seeking it through this world. He's not gained his riches through seeking the Most High. The Most High is not in his thoughts at all. Floyd Mayweather, that's it. Yeah, he's gained it when you see this brother, he's all about his wealth. That's what actually makes him. He seeks the riches of this world. He's not seeking to be rich towards the Most High. He's not seeking the Most High so that the Most High can bless him and give him riches. Those are riches which are eternal. When you're seeking the Most High and He blesses you, those blessings from the Most High are eternal. Whereas if you're seeking the riches of this world and the Most High allows you to get rich, those riches are temporal. So this is one of the deceitful ways of Esau, where to push his agenda is also pushing, for you to get rich, because at the end of the day, our people are in a poor state and we do struggle financially. So if someone wants to give us a load of money, it would seem like, that stress of being able to feed your family, pay your bills, it would take care of that. But Esau pushes these things towards us. It says here, how Brits are earning millions from home during coronavirus pandemic thanks to celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. And what he's doing is using now is the celebrities to try and push his deceit, because he's talking about riches, which is what a lot of our people strive for, to be rich. But he's doing it through the celebrities, known faces. And at the end of the day, he's got an underlying agenda which we're going to see. Because like I said, one of the things which Esau wants to do is push that mark. He wants to get that mark out there, which is a chip. And when the scripture speaks about not being able to buy or sell, you realize one of the things that they're trying to push is this digital dollar. Now, another name for this digital dollar, we're going to find out as we read this article. So it says, how Brits are earning millions from home during coronavirus pandemic thanks to celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. Now, this is deceit, because at the end of the day, he gets you to seek after riches of this world without being rich towards the Most High. And that's to push his underlying agenda. So it says here, I'm going to read a bit of this, then skip down. So it says, multi-Michelin star celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay just bought his 9th Ferrari using money he earned not from his TV shows or restaurants. So, he tries to trap you in by things like his 9th Ferrari, these material goods. So when we jump down, and this is Gordon Ramsay, which I'm sure a few people are aware of, it says, listen, I've been wanting to do something different, something special. You see, I've been blessed to live my dream life, because I've had the privilege of owning my own restaurants and starring on reality TV shows. Now, said he's been blessed, and really and truly, it's the Lord that's blessed him, because it says, Scripture lets us know that, the Lord maketh poor and the Lord maketh rich. But when you're seeking to be rich without seeking the Most High, these riches are only temporal. These are riches that is easily to be lost. The Scripture speaks about seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. We should be seeking to store up treasures in heaven, where thief can't come and steal them, where when we die, we don't lose those riches. So, goes on to say, today I want to give back and show everyone and it says give back. Like, you're not giving back nothing at the end of the day. If you want to give back, you'll be giving them out of your wealth. You're just going to show them what you've been doing, quote unquote, to make some of the money that you've made. And it's also to trap our people in a system which they're trying to push. So it says, today I want to give back and show everyone exactly how I've made millions of dollars over the last few months outside of my regular business. It's something I've been doing on the side, and something anyone in the UK can do. Excuse me, and it's made enough for me to buy my 9th Ferrari. So, trying to attract people with this material stuff. And a lot of our people are materialistic, you know. They seek not to build up riches towards the Most High. They seek to gain riches in a carnal manner. So it says, my passion would always be cooking, but recently I've been learning about investing. I stumbled upon a new system called Bitcoin Evolution. Now, this is also the digital dollar. This is another form of the digital dollar. This is just called Bitcoin, but that's all it is, a digital dollar. This is something that they're trying to push, which will end up being part of that chip, because they want to link it to the chip where you can have your medical records linked to the chip, your banking linked to the chip, so on and so forth. So it says, I stumbled upon a new system called Bitcoin that's made me more money in the last 6 months than any of my other business. And this is how they're trying to trap people in, you know, get rich quick. You know, it's made him more money in the last 6 months than any of his other business. And the best part is, this amazing opportunity just became available to regular folks in the UK. So I have to share it with everyone. So he's making it sound like he's doing us a favour, when really and truly all he's doing is pushing the agenda for the elites. You know, and our people get caught excuse me, our people get caught up in this because they don't seek riches to be rich towards the Most High. They seek earthly riches. It says, I'll explain what Bitcoin Evolution is in just a bit, but first, to prove how amazing this system really is, Holly, and Holly is this presenter here, this lady here. I'm going to give you £190 to deposit and try it for yourself right now. Ramsey then wrote a check to Holly for £190, which she deposited into the system to try for herself. Within minutes, Holly's jaw dropped open as she began making a real profit on live television. So this is something they did on live TV. You know, and yes, she was probably making money, but it's all, like I said, they want to push this digital dollar agenda. You know, get rid of physical cash and put everyone over to a digital system where in the end they'll be linking up to the chip. And we know that Bill Gates, he wants to get people vaccinated and chipped at the same time. He's working with certain other companies like Gavi. Gavi is a company that goes around to third world at the moment and they plow money into them and get them immunized. So really, when the vaccine does come, you know, and to get chipped, these countries won't have a problem doing it, because, you know, they've been funded by this corporation already. So, and this is all the deceit of Esau. You know, the scripture calls him the devil. You know, devil just means deceiver. And this is all part of the deceit, you know, to try and play towards your carnal side, your get rich quick side, for want of a better word. You know, that time they're pushing their own underlying agenda. It says, Ollie deposited the £190 and tried the system for herself. Within minutes, she was up over £539.13 in profit. It says, Ramsey continued, now I know what you're thinking, Philip and Holly. You probably think this is a trick or it doesn't make sense. You may have seen Bitcoin or Ethereum on the news and maybe even invested into it yourself. Maybe you think, excuse me, it's a scam because you don't understand it or lost money. Well, what I do to earn at least 6 figures every month is something completely different. I use this Bitcoin Evolution to cash in on the Bitcoin boom with absolutely no investing or technology experience. And the best part is anyone can do it. So they try and suck it. It goes in and it talks a bit more about it. Now, remember I mentioned that Bill Gates, you know, he's got his agenda to try and get people chipped and vaccinated. So it says, look guys, I love to cook and help up and coming chefs improve their cooking. I don't have time to sit in front of a computer and trade cryptocurrencies all day. That's why I use Bitcoin Evolution to do it for me automatically. It is backed by who? Bill Gates, Richard Branson, named people, celebrities, and Mark Zuckerberg. I think this guy here as well. What is it he does? I forgot what this guy does. I think this was the guy that was trying to build something to go to space. But these are all big names at the end of the day, big players. Some of the smartest tech minds on the planet. Now, I'm going to play this video. Because like I said, what Esau tries to do is to play to that carnal side of our people. And, we need to be rich towards the Lord, by doing His will, doing what He wants us to do. If He's blessed you with certain knowledge of the scriptures, use that knowledge and teach others. Don't hold that knowledge to yourself. But Esau wants us to be carnal. It says crypto is making people rich, see? And they always do that get rich quick scheme. And you can become the next millionaire. See what famous people like Bill Gates and Eric Schmidt have to say. And we're going to watch this video and just go into a few scriptures.
No banks, no fees, no inflation. These are the potential perks of this thing called Bitcoin. But is Bitcoin really the money of the future? Bitcoin. All the rage, but what the hell is it?
Bitcoin is better than currency.
There's a big industry around Bitcoin. People have made fortunes out of Bitcoin.
The technical answer on Bitcoins is that Bitcoins is a remarkable cryptographic achievement.
It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal.
If people have got lots of Bitcoins and they want to go to space, I'd much rather they spent that money on our space.
I mean, I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account.
Yeah, so they've got these
No
people,
banks, no fees, no inflation.
got these people trying to push the Bitcoin. One of the persons we saw there was Bill Gates. And like I said, they have their underlying agenda, to get that mark out there. But in doing so, they're using celebrities to play to the carnal side of people. And a lot of our people are going to fall for it and end up being destroyed when the Lord comes to judge the earth. Now this is Proverbs chapter 27 verse 24. It says, For riches are not forever, and does the crown endure to every generation? So riches, we know these don't last. Now the only riches that last is when we build riches towards the kingdom. When we submit to the Lord and do His will, store treasures up in heaven. These are riches that last. But it says riches are not forever, and does the crown endure to every generation? The crown don't endure to every generation. We're seeing numerous kingdoms throughout history, and where are they today? And this kingdom is going to fall in like manner. This kingdom ain't going to last forever. So riches don't last forever. Unless you're storing riches up in heaven, those riches are going to die. Those riches are going to go. And this is what Esau, he plays to. He plays to that carnal side. And what he's doing is actually steering us away from that tree of life. He's that angel that the Most High has put in front of the tree of life to guard the tree of life. And a lot of our people are going to get caught out because at the end of the day, they like the carnalness of this kingdom. They like to be wicked. They like the wickedness, the pleasures of this kingdom, actually. And the devil tried the same thing with Yahweh Shai. This is Matthew chapter 4 and verse 8. And this is what, all of this here that we're seeing, where it says here, how Brits are earning millions from home during Corona pandemic thanks to celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. What's this one here? crypto is making people rich and you can become the next millionaire. This is what's actually happening here. When we read this is what's happening here. You know, the devil tried the same thing with Yahushai. And the same thing that Yahushai did, you know, he left us an example in the scriptures. And this is the example that we are to follow. So, Matthew 4:8, again the devil taketh him up to an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And that's what's happening here. You know, you can earn millions. Become the next millionaire. Now this is what the devil's doing, taking you up to the high mountain and showing you the glory of the kingdoms. And he saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And this is what they're trying to get you to do. Worship them. You know, you're going to end up falling into the trap, you know, getting chipped. And then what? You know, your life's not worth the money that you've made. It says, and he saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then Yahushua said unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And this is what we have to do when Satan brings these get-rich-quick schemes in front of us. You know, we need to be rich towards the Most High. You know, we're not meant to fall to the carnal side and try and get rich quick by Esau's system. You know, we should be saying, get thee behind me, Satan. You know, we should only worship and serve the Most High. Because at the end of the day, it's the Lord that maketh rich and it's the Lord that maketh poor. You know, we want him to make us rich in faith. You know, that's going to guide us through to the kingdom. You know, being rich in faith. You know, being rich in the fear of the Lord. These are things we want to be rich in, not rich in carnal wealth, which, let me bring this out. I was going to read this third. Now, when we're trying to be rich in a carnal manner, this is how we're going to end up like this brother here. This is Luke chapter 12 verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, so this is Yahushua speaking a parable. The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. Yeah. He earned millions. He became the next millionaire. So let's see what happened. Because he wasn't really seeking to be rich towards the Most High. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, does thou as much goods laid up for many years, take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So, when we're not rich towards the Most High, you know, we look to be rich in a carnal manner, in the ways of this world. When the Lord decides to call you, you know, what you going to do in that day? You know, the scripture says, riches profit not in the day in the day of wrath. Roughly paraphrase it. You know, when the Lord comes to visit you, you can't buy yourself out of his judgment through your riches. So it says, this is verse 20 again, Luke 12 and 20. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night, and it says, thou fool. It's a foolish thing to seek riches of this world, and we're not seeking to be rich towards the Most High. It says, but God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? It says, so is he that layeth up treasures for himself and is not rich towards the Most High. And this is what I've been saying. We need to be rich towards the Most High. You know, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. Now this is Psalms 62 and 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. And, you know, when we're seeking to be rich in a carnal manner, like these ways here, that's us trusting in oppression. Because at the end of the day, we're getting these things from the oppressor. It says, and become not vain in robbery. Because how are these things obtained? You know, he didn't get his kingdom by bartering. You know, the kingdom was stolen, like through robbery, through deceit. That's how this kingdom was built, I should say, through robbery and deceit. It says, if riches increase, set not your heart upon them. So even if the Lord was to make you rich, because he can do that, don't be relying upon those riches. We need to be seeking to be rich, like it says here, rich towards the Most High. That's what we need to be, rich to the Most High. We need to be seeking the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto us. Now, this scripture here I'm going to close out with. This is Sirach, chapter 40, in verse 26. It says, riches and strength lift up the heart. Because like I said, our people were in a poor state, and sometimes we struggle to meet the bills. And if we were to get £1 million, yes, it will lift up our heart, you know, because we know we don't have to worry about the next meal, we don't have to worry about the bill. But it says, riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. Yeah, there is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needeth not to seek help. So this is what we need to be rich in, the fear of the Lord, rich in faith. This is what is going to guide us to the kingdom of heaven. This is how we can hope to be blessed from the Most High, and blessed in a way which is eternal. You know, seeking riches in this system, you know, in a carnal manner, like Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, he trusted in his riches. If he was to lose, if Yahushua came to him and said, you know, like he said to the young man, sell all you have and follow me, he's going to be sad, because his trust and hope is in his riches. That's what he looks towards. That's what he looks up to. That's what he believes in. But then when the Lord calls him, what's he going to do then? He can't use none of that money to barter with the Most High in that day. And, you know, we have to make sure we're not caught up in the same system, because Esau's being deceitful. He will throw these things at you when there's always that underlying, you know, he's got a trick up his sleeve. Like I said, he wants people to be chipped, and part of it is part of his scheme is trying to get us into this Bitcoin system, or this digital dollar system, you know, using the celebrities to try and sucker us in. And us in the truth, you know, we have to stay strong. Don't fall for these things. Don't fall for the wiles of the devil. You know, keep the Most High in our sights. Keep him as our guide. Trust in the Lord, and he will deliver us, man. He will provide for us at the end of the day, because he knows what we need. We just need to show him that we trust in him enough to provide those things for us. And he wants to do it. You know, we've been disobedient. We have to remember that. And now is the time for us to show him that, yeah, we want to come back and serve you the right way. We want to trust and lean upon you for all things. So, you know, seek not riches in this life, you know. Build riches towards the Most High. Riches towards the kingdom. These are the things which is eternal. So with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash, Kwame Asharallah.